Welcome to Arbor Gate's new parking lot. And I know you've all heard the news. You enter through Trickle Road, you can get the map on the website, but is this not beautiful? But what else is beautiful about it is we get all of our deliveries here now. And one delivery we always look forward to, especially, is from Monrovia. And I happen to have somebody here we're looking through the racks. And this is Steve. Steve is our rep with Monrovia. He puts up with all of our questions, our late night texts, everything. Lots of those. So we wanted to point out some plants to you that might be overlooked, not might be, but are so overlooked and are do brilliantly in our climate for beautiful summer color. And we're going to start with Grandma's favorite. Everybody's grandma had a Rose of Sharon. And it's so great this year that they finally come to the forefront again. And that's an Althea. And so Steve has a gorgeous one for us.
Yes, so this is the Chantilly Hibiscus. As you can see, it's blooming its head off right now. This one will bloom for a long time. It loses its leaves in the winter and pops out its leaves early spring and flowers, and it flowers through spring into summer. I have one of these in my yard, and I absolutely adore this plant.
I have one too.
You do too?
I have one of everything.
One of everything.
But what's so great about this, like Steve was pointing out, it's deciduous. So if you want that tropical feel and that tropical look, but tired of having to cover a tropical hibiscus, this guy's your answer. And it doesn't come in yellows and oranges and the vibrant reds, but
whites, purples, and pinks
right.
Mostly, and some that kind of are getting closer to blue, but still in that purple family. But just flowers and flowers and flowers. So a lot of color without having to risk losing it in a deep freeze or something like that.
Yeah, it's a winner. And the other thing that we have really appreciated that he's been keeping us on top of are all these wonderful new colors from these Mandevillas. And all of you guys I know are familiar with the old-fashioned like Alice DuPont, but these guys are superstars.
Yeah, this is going to be one of the first years that we kind of have these oranges and peaches.
How beautiful is that?
Just very, very different, unusual colors. So we still have the reds, the whites, and the pinks, but these are just so much more bright and vibrant to get you through summer. Great plants, and I mean, really can't beat.
No,
that color.
That's incredible. That's incredible. And you know, if it's in a protected spot and they do cover the roots really good with mulch or leaves, most of the time they really will come back, but I wouldn't promise it.
Yeah, and this one is going to be Giant Peach, and this is Sunbeam, I believe. Yep, that's Sunbeam.
Yep.
So two very cool
And then
colors.
he also has the great, some of the colors you're more used to, but however, that one is stunning.
Yeah, this is Medinnia red and this is Medinnia white. We also have a pink one. The cool thing about these are smaller dwarf varieties, so great for containers. Stay in that about 1 foot by 1 foot mounding Mandevilla, so it's not going to go out and just trail. For smaller spots, this is a great plant.
It is beautiful. It is beautiful. Okay, so let's see, where do we want to go? We're talking about tropical color. You can't beat a Bougainvillea.
So I picked out two of my most favorite Bougainvilleas. This is Raspberry Ice. So very unusual leaf color. It's going to have the green center and the yellow on the margins, and then purple flowers. This is kind of a more dense mounding Bougainvillea that's going to be on the trellis. So we keep it trained on that so you can have some vertical growth. The other cool one, this is an offshoot from Purple Queen called Burgundy Queen. The new foliage comes out that burgundy color, and then the flowers you can see on this tag are another burgundy color. So most Bougainvilleas tend to come out with that green foliage. This is a dark red burgundy color on the new growth. So you get color in between the flowering.
So we couldn't walk by this guy, of course. We know this is, but oh my goodness.
Just beautiful hibiscus. So as you can see, this is Jazzy Jewel Gold. You're gonna have that deep red throat and the golden yellow flower on that big flower. The heads on these will just continue flowering and growing, and you get a bigger head as they grow through the season. So lots and lots of color, and nothing says summer more than the hibiscus.
Well, and I think I was telling you earlier, I grabbed one of these last year when they came in up the first truck. They never got unloaded, and mine came back in my pot this year. So
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's a good choice. It's a good one. So, and lots of heat also, but to give you that tropical look and feel, but be more root hardy for us. We were both talking about this one today.
This is my favorite. I have 3 of these in my yard.
You have the favorites like I do.
Yeah, lots
Anyone you're looking at.
Some you just have to go home with you. This is Canna Cleopatra.
Oh my gosh.
So you have the yellow and red flower, but the cool thing on this is instead of a leaf that's completely marbled like some of the Tropicanas, these are stripes. So it's a green leaf with these red stripes. Every leaf's a little bit different. So the plant has a lot of variation through all the leaves, but really, really cool. Like I said, I have 3. I think you have a couple.
I have 1, yeah.
It's beautiful.
But it's giant.
Hers is even more beautiful than mine and flowering right now. So that might be one of my favorite plants. You're gonna get that tropical look without having to risk anything in the freezes. They come back every single year.
No, and like you said, every leaf is different, every flower is different. I
Very
mean,
cool
it
plants.
is incredible. And then, of course, everybody knows Lantana,
Yeah.
but I mean, Lantana is a no-brainer down here.
This is a great one, and they've kind of upped the ante on this one. This is the Fiesta series. So that's Pina, and then this is Picante. These are heavy, heavy, heavy flowering plants. Nice mound to them. They don't tend to trail or get too leggy or anything like that. All they want to do is flower. So they will just flower and flower, flower. And you can see this even right now as the old flowers are going through. They've got new flowers coming on.
So container or the ground, a
Container
border,
or
deer
ground.
resistant.
Yeah, I've had these in my yard. I almost use them as where some people would put annual color, so it just blooms all the way into winter.
So this patio tree, is that what is
That is the same plant. It's the same plant. We train it. It takes a couple extra years, and we train it up a stake, and then we form it into a patio tree.
That
so that
is
one,
beautiful.
if I lift it up for you, you'll see it's going to be a 3-foot patio tree
awesome?
on it. So great for containers and or in the ground in the middle of a color bed if you'd like.
Well, while we're over this direction, Jatropha.
Jatropha is a beautiful, beautiful red flowering tropical plant. This is the first year we've tried them on these trellises, probably more for a container or something like that around the pool, so you can get a little bit of upgrowth and just a lot of color.
But this is another one I've had in my yard literally over 20 years.
No way.
I've never protected it. It is not on an irrigation system. It got watered twice last year in the drought. Every year I cut it back to about 8 inches
It
tall
comes back up.
to the eave of my house.
Wow.
And the hummingbirds fight over it.
Well, that's a great one.
Yeah, so I mean, and deer resistant. I mean, there's nothing bad I can say about this plant. I've never had any disease, no insect damage, drought tolerant, root hardy, nectar. I mean, does it get any better than
Lots
that?
and lots of color.
Yeah, lots
of
and
color.
lots of color.
That's
And then this, we picked this out. This was new to me, the
So that
variegated Eugenia.
Yeah, it's a relatively new Eugenia for us. I sent in 2 of the spirals. So this is going to be more for a container entryway around the pool.
Right.
It's a lemon swirl. So instead of just having a green and red Eugenia, you're going to have that golden look to it as well.
Yeah.
I mean, door statement piece or around the pool is an amazing plant.
We neglected this guy.
Your favorite, the salvias.
Another favorite.
Yes. So small, full sun, perennial salvia. That one is going to be rose marble, about 1 foot by 1 foot, and just wants to flower. It's bred
That's all
to
it
just
does.
want to flower.
Yeah.
It doesn't mind the heat or anything like that. It just wants to flower.
And exceptionally root hardy.
Very much so.
Yeah.
Very much so.
Yeah, very much so. And then, of course,
Oh, it's unbelievable. So
I
check
love
this
these.
out.
I love these. I love these.
These are said to have about 1,000 flowers per season. I have had these in my yard. I haven't counted them, but I'm going to tell you they do live up to that. If you can just see on this plant alone, there is just flower buds on top of flower buds on top of flower buds. I had mine in a container. You can put them in the ground as well. I've had mine in full sun. all it did is flower. It just flowers and flowers and flowers.
It does, and you're right. It's amazing. And even though it's not particularly root hardy, I guess it could be. I haven't found it to be. It is well worth every penny. It's just a showstopper.
This one, you're gonna. It should only last 1 year. It could come back over the winter. We don't pitch it as that. The one cool thing about it as well is when these flowers fall off, you don't have to deadhead them. It leaves, you can if you want, but it just leaves a dark circle that kind of falls into the plant. You don't even notice it. So as these are just flowering and flowering, you don't have to even clean them up if you don't want to.
And and you're right. They never look messy.
Yeah.
No.
And if you want, if you want to, you can cut them back at any time in the season, and they'll rebud again. But yeah, great plant. That's unbelievable.
Unbelievable. We didn't do the coneflower, did we?
We did not do the coneflower. We got Kismet White, and I think it's Panama Red. One of the things Monrovia has done in the past couple of years is get echinaceas out to the market a little bit earlier from our Georgia nursery. So we have flowering echinaceas already. So there's a lot of color choices, and both of these are full sun echinaceas, lots of color, unique flowers.
Oh, they're beautiful.
Yeah.
And you know what? A lot of people here live in wooded areas, wooded subdivisions, and so we can't neglect the shade lovers.
Some shade lovers.
And this right here,
yes.
Oh my goodness.
So these are some new hydrangeas we just grew from our Georgia nursery. If you look at those flowers, these are all the same plant, and the flowers change as they come out, and they change through colors. So they're going to go from that green and purple, and this is the Rosa Glory hydrangea. 3x3 hydrangea. There's a couple others in the series that are also in pinks and reds, but this is my favorite.
Yeah.
As you can see, the green, the purple, the dark purple, and they change, and they should bloom for, they say they will bloom for months. So.
Arbor Gate colors. Right
They
there.
are Arbor Gate colors, if you haven't noticed.
And then I wanted to point out too, you have the most incredible selection of calla lilies
Thank you.
of anybody I've seen. And again, they look so delicate, and oftentimes you just see them from a florist, you know, as a gift plant. These guys are superstars in the shade garden. They bloom for an extended period in the spring and early summer. They go dormant late summer, fall, but they emerge in the winter.
It's beautiful.
So the cold doesn't really affect their foliage that much. They'll grow in the winter and then start blooming again early spring, and every year you have a bigger and bigger clump. They are so, and what a great cut flower.
It's
for
a
somebody
great
with
cut flower.
shade and needs a cutting garden.
Absolutely a great cut flower, and the varieties that Monrovia has chosen are just beautiful and stunning.
At that. How rich is that? It's stunning.
Yeah, rarely do you see a flower that's that dark.
Yeah,
that deep
and look
dark
at the
purple.
veining on the outside. I mean, it's just, good job, Steve.
Yeah, I can't take any of the credit for growing
Yeah,
these.
you can. So this is a guy that keeps us supplied in all of these new introductions, new releases. Keeps us well stocked with the latest and greatest. We really appreciate you.
Thank you.